Mm, these are fresh, organic radish sprouts. We'll be talking about those in a little bit. I couldn't resist. I love the smell of radishes. Hi, I'm Mark Alyn, and welcome to Mark Alyn's Culinary Adventures. What we're all about is very simple. We encourage people to learn how to cook, and that's what we're all about. What we do is show you simple recipes, maybe sometimes not so simple, that you can do at home. If I can do it, you can do it. And that's the bottom line of this whole show, really. I don't practice, I don't do the recipes in advance. If I can't do them cold, I don't do them at all. Okay, so that's it. Today we're going to show you how to make something tasty out of kale, or we're going to make kale tasty. I'm not exactly sure, but we will see that. Kale is not my favorite thing in the world, but it's heart healthy. And so we're going to celebrate Valentine's Day green with kale. Don't go away. Mark Alyn's Culinary Adventures is live. One of my favorite people in the world, seriously, is Karen Howard. She is the CEO and Executive Director of the Organics and Natural Health Association. I've been saying that for about 8 or 9 years now, maybe 10. You just celebrated 10 years. I always blow it, but I think this time I finally got it right. We're going to go to Washington, D.C. We're going to bring Karen in right now. And Karen, it is nice to see you. It's been a while.
It's awesome to be here.
Yeah, this is fun. And I'm going to ask you in advance, uh, come back. Come back with another recipe. Okay. So before we start, and maybe I should start chopping or slicing my onion. I have a purple onion from Melissa's, and we'll take a look at our Melissa cam. I'll show you what we got. Okay, Karen? Let's take a look here. We've got mushrooms. These are brown or creamy mushrooms. I've got a whole bunch of kale. There's some cocktail onions that I'm going to pickle someday. We used them a few weeks ago. I've got some avocados, more purple onions, tomatoes, and a variety of onions back there. And thank you, Carol, for setting that up. Oh, also, we had some lemons in there. And I've got a couple of lemons here on my cutting table that we'll be juicing to make a dressing. See? So we've got lemons, onion, and mushrooms. And over here we've got the radish sprouts and an avocado. Karen, let's talk about the Organic and Natural Health Association and what it's all about. Because I think it's very important for Joe and Jane average, or Jane and Joe average, to know what it's about. Because you guys are really helping make America healthy.
Aren't we, though? So it's like we are, you're right, we just celebrated our 10th anniversary. We're rocking into year 11. And we're really about educating consumers about the quality of the dietary supplement supply chain. And we represent the entirety of the chain, all the way from raw ingredients to retailers and consumer organizations. So we're very unique. We're small, but we're really powerful. And what we really want to do is make sure that consumers are getting the best of the products that they can get for the reasons that they want to. So whether it's regenerative, organic, all of those things are a big component of who we are. We love being able to address the hard issues. And that includes, doing this work around, are we getting ingredients that are not made, that are made instead of grown? So, is the organic standard being taken care of, and what does it mean to be regenerative? So that's really, from a consumer perspective, where we are, and our members are really the best of the best.
I have to point out, regenerative agriculture is really an old-fashioned concept, but it's come back and it's sustainability. Would that be a good definition?
It is, because it's basically like when you use really conventional agriculture practices, you're stripping the ground of minerals. And with regenerative, you're always plowing it back into the soil. So you're regenerating the soil, and you're using animals to do that instead of pesticides. So it's a very significant shift. And it's one that I don't think we can ever lose track of, because, there's limited topsoil. And we really have to take care of that. And when you talk about dietary supplements in the international supply chain, there's so many strains on that. There's so much work going into how do we help local farmers do their job and be successful without damaging their process, because we want more. So that's a big component of what we do.
And last week or so, I interviewed Marshall Runge, Runge. He is the dean of the medical school at the University of Michigan. And I asked Marshall what would he like to buy in the market, and he would rather buy regenerative produce than organic. What's the difference?
Big question.
Yeah.
I will say that one of the things that's happened with our US-based organic standard is that it has devolved a bit. So in the perfect example, now we can grow organic fruit and vegetables in water and not soil. And that has been approved by our USDA. So in that regard, we are not being regenerative with the soil at all. And really, we are not meeting the mark of what it was always intended to be when organic was created. So there's been slippage in terms of the value and the standard of organic. And I think that's why we started to see regenerative come along. It's made it way too confusing for consumers. And it's a constant balance and battle in terms of how we maintain what we're actually after, which is a healthy planet for healthy people. Not just healthy people, but a healthy planet for healthy people.
We have to be healthy for us, our kids, and subsequent generations, right?
Exactly.
That's it. Let's take a look at what I've done. I've made some half moon, if you will, onion slices. I may have cut them a little bit thicker than I should have, but they'll work. And I'm going to start making the dressing. I've got Garcia de la Cruz, mild and smooth, everyday use olive oil. This is one of my favorite olive oils. They make a lot of good ones. And what's besides being organic, and they've been making olive oil for over 150 years. Carol really likes the spout because it doesn't sputter all over the place. It stops. Isn't that cool? All right, so we got that. This is something I've not used before, and it's a special kind of soy sauce. Tell me what this is.
So it's Tamari. Your other
Tamari.
option is Bragg's. If anybody is familiar with Bragg's amino acids, that's my favorite to go with this. But Tamari is like soy sauce without wheat. So for those of us who are gluten-free, I'm one of them, Tamari is a really wonderful substitute.
All right. And I'm going to put some of that in. I knew Patricia Bragg. She was a terrific woman and did a lot for the planet, as well as for the supplement industry with her products. Now, I'm going to juice a couple of lemons, and these are traditional lemons, and Carol and I grow Meyer lemons, but I didn't think that would work in this recipe. So I'm going to squeeze that. And this is such a simple recipe. There's only 3 ingredients. I had said to Karen, could I add garlic? And you said,
Nope.
nope, no garlic. One of the few recipes in the 2 years we've been doing this that doesn't have garlic.
Yeah, it's interesting because this is a third, a third, a third. It's really simple, right? And
Yes.
the flavors are just so interestingly melded. You don't need garlic.
And I've tasted Bragg's amino acids, and they're very good. So I'm going to whip this up. And I think what I'm going to do, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to take my onions and I'm going to stick it in there now.
Absolutely. Let those marinate for a few minutes.
All right. So I'm going to break it up. That, and we'll stir it up again. All right. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it off to the side. And I think I have some more onion if I need it. I'll move my, and here we go. I'm going to take some clumps. And Karen's going to teach us how to stem this, because this is really, I mean, you talk about roughage. This is roughage. And if you don't, well, excuse me, I'm just going to get this out. I have a kitchen hammer. No?
And what is your goal with your kitchen hammer?
I'm sorry?
And your goal with your kitchen hammer
I
is
was going to beat the crap out of the poor Kale.
No. So here's what we need to do. We need to take the kale off the stem. Two swipes, one on either side.
So that would be, I think you can see it.
You can, if your knife is good, Mark, you can actually take it from top to bottom too. That's how I do it. It's fast. I hold it up and go down and down.
And rip it?
No, with the knife.
But holding it up in the air?
Yeah, that's how I do it.
How about
whatever works for you? We don't need an incident.
What I'm going to do, what if I stacked a couple of these like this? Would that work?
It might. I just find when I can take my knife and go straight down on either side, I get more kale, and I'm all about maximizing, but either way that works for you is good. You're just really taking it off.
I've got another way.
That's slow.
Right? And
so
we've got a lot of...
So let me just add this. If you can actually take it off the stem and so you have solid pieces going down, what you really want to do is you want to cut ribbons. So you want to be able to slice it once you can stack those pieces without the stem. You want to cut ribbons, and you want those ribbons to be fairly thin, because this is how kale becomes edible. You're not chomping on big bites. So you want to do thin ribbons. And the only way to do that is get that middle stem out.
Right. So we're going to massage this in a minute, right? With our hands. It's
I'm a little concerned that your pieces are a little...
I'm going to chop these.
Large. I wouldn't chop them, but I would stack them kind of to the point and then just cross one way, cross them, cut one way. So you're literally trying to get ribbons of the kale. And I think this is kind of a secret of making kale
Can
softer.
I do it like this? I thought I would.
You can.
All right. That's what I'm going to do. And no. What if I ripped it?
So if you can, do you still have like large enough pieces that you can kind of organize?
No. They're all
No.
little pieces.
So
So,
do your best to create strips as best you can, however that
all
looks
right.
for you.
When you're cooking, do you measure and
No.
do
Oh,
you ad lib?
so I'm in the middle of a cookbook now. And the problem with writing a cookbook is that when you ad lib, you have to actually cook everything and give somebody some semblance of what the heck you're doing. So yes, I'm a big ad libber, especially when it comes to soups.
All right. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to put this into our bowl there. I'm going to get some more.
I will say that the more I make of this, the more I enjoy it because it holds really well. And I once Mark asked me for a recipe and I decided to do this, I needed to make it. So I have been eating it. I just finished it this morning and I've been eating it for like 3 days.
Do,
It holds
have,
really
did
well.
you grow up eating? I mean, you grew up in Missouri, right?
I did. I
Did
did.
you
So
grow
our
up on a
version of the
farm
South,
or
no.
no?
No, we had the option on a weekend of whether you wanted a filet or a hot dog.
Oh,
And that was, yeah, we did a lot of grilling. And my mom grew a lot of vegetables. But I also was part of that, here are the canned vegetables that we get to eat. I had a lot of that. So I've advanced over the years.
did you grow up eating this kale? Because
Never.
never. My
No,
mother never knew.
no, we didn't eat. So one of my mom's favorite salads was wilted lettuce. Have you ever heard of this?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, like where you use bacon grease. Yeah.
Well, last week we had a friend of mine on the show, Nina, who has recently moved to Ohio, and I asked her if she knew what the sandwich was in Ohio that everybody in Ohio eats. Do you know what that is?
No.
Fried bologna sandwiches.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I can remember when prepared foods came into the house. I was like, "What happened to cooking?" It was horrible. And my mom would buy the pot pies without the bottoms and the frozen pizzas and throw hot dogs. I mean, it was horrible. It was just horrible. Like, and then also Tang. Like, I'm like of the Tang era. So once I found my niche when it came to food, I was like all in. This, I first had this salad at Esalen, and I don't know if any of your viewers have been to Esalen, but this is a variety of that salad and it was magical. And I was like, this is how everyone should eat all the time, fresh from their farms. It was incredible. So I had my own World War II victory garden for 20 something years here in DC. And I have been like organic for, I don't know, 12 years. So
Well, I've seen
yeah.
I've been to your garden, which is right on your balcony, but I don't think I've ever seen it in bloom because I haven't
Yeah.
been in town at the right time.
Yeah. And I don't do vegetables anymore, but I do herbs and spices and flowers. So, and all perennials.
All right, I'm going to rip this up. And am I massaging this enough?
I
Am
think
I?
it looks pretty good. I think it's about time to put it in that marinade and
Oh,
massage
all
it.
right. All right, let me bring this over because I've got quite a bit. And this is this is for two people, you know. So I'm going to massage this a little bit more because I can.
Well,
You
let's make
sure I
sure
don't?
that so
Yeah,
when you're ready with your mushrooms and everything else and everything's cut,
yeah.
um, you have to massage it with the dressing.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
and
that's
get
the
my
secret.
hands. Wait, and get my hands dirty.
Yep,
You're sure?
100%, or you're not going to like it.
Yes, thank you, Carol. Carol's already preparing um, wet paper towels for me. All right, all right. So I've got that. I'm going to put this over here. Earlier today, I I'm going to get a sponge. Earlier today, I um, uh, toasted a variety of seeds in a cast iron pan. There, uh, we had sesame seeds. Oh, and you got to be careful with a cast iron, pan. They're very heavy. Are they good? Is it good for you because the iron does come out? Do you know?
I've been eating on a cast iron skillet my entire life. I have two of them that are really well um, tested and sealed, and I've had my iron level tested, and I think I'm okay.
Got it. All right. I'm going to slice some mushrooms that again came from Melissa's. Now, I always take the back end off of my mushrooms. I used a mushroom brush and I clean them very well. We need about a cup. Um, did you? I want to make sure I understand this. You're writing a cookbook now?
Yeah,
Wow, you just came out with an award, a best-selling book
yeah.
on life,
Upset is
liberty, and the
optional.
yeah, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah, well, let's just start with upset being optional because it's a really useful tool right now.
I should have. I apologize. We should have put up a copy of your book cover.
Available on Amazon, and the website is upsetisoptional.com.
Got it. Say that one more time slower.
It's
The
available
website.
on Amazon, and the website is upsetisoptional.com, which will let you learn more about my mentor who taught me these skills that I have turned into this book, and I've been living life with much more ease and less unnecessary suffering since then.
Got it. Got it. All right. So I have the mushrooms. Um, I have the kale here. Do I put the dressing on first?
You ready to go to work?
I guess so. Oh,
Dump those
wait,
onions.
before I do that, I have an avocado.
Yeah,
Should I
that goes
slice?
in last.
All right, so
It's
I
up
can
to
cut
you.
that later.
I would say it's time to massage.
I'm
Take
sorry,
those
say that.
onions in that. It's time to massage. Take those onions in that dressing and throw it in and start massaging.
Got it. Okay, here it goes. Now, when I was a kid, and I've said this on the show a number of times, here we go. I would want to.
Rub it.
This is not, to me, this is not fun, but I get it.
Rub it.
Carol, can you? Yeah, there. Uh, and I tell my mommy I wanted to finger paint. I would last a minute because I didn't like getting my hands dirty.
I love that.
And I still don't.
Listen, I think this is the key to this recipe, which is that people turn away from kale because when you cook kale and steam it, it's like, and then when you try and eat it raw, it's like, so this massaging, like literally massaging, makes all the difference in the world. And those great flavors from the dressing go straight into that fiber. It makes all the difference.
The because of the massaging, this is kind of like the Kobe beef of the vegetable world.
Good analogy. I like that.
And I am squeezing it. I'm pretending this is the shoulder.
Nice.
And just beating it up. I could actually put in more kale, and we'll do that later for our dinner.
Right. You can. I mean, it is the dressing makes for a lot, and it does, and because it's kale, it really holds well, even with the sprouts.
Got it. Yeah, I have a lot more kale to put in, but we'll do that later. This will be enough to taste. It smells fabulous. It really does. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to step over here and I'm going to rinse my hands. And a lot of people use olive oil on their hands so that they can to make their skin smooth and all that. All right. I'm going to put in mushrooms next.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to put in 3 kinds of seeds. I have pumpkin seeds. Did you? I didn't grow up eating pumpkin seeds. Carol, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did occasionally. And then sesame seeds. Not sesame seeds. Sunflower seeds. And um, these are sesame seeds. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. I also have some radish sprouts. Now, the actual recipe calls for 2 kinds of sprouts. One is sunflower sprouts, which I couldn't find in the markets. I went to 3 markets, by the way. And the other was alfalfa sprouts. And I'm not an alfalfa sprout guy, so I changed it up for radish sprouts. And we'll just put that much in there. And I'm going to take this avocado. Oh, Carol, it's a great avocado. Yeah. And I'm going to demonstrate. I think I've done this before, but the way to get the seed out, smack it, turn it, and that's it. And you know your avocado is good when the peel comes off. Now, this is a Haas. There are some avocados, as you know, there are many varieties that are thin-skinned, just like me. They suffer so much. And they're harder to peel. So I'm going to chop this like this. And then I'm going to turn it like this. That good, Carol? You like that? Okay.
You don't have to put it all in.
No? All right. Got it. All right. And again, let's wipe that. I'm going to put this here. I can't believe it. It's almost eating time, Karen.
So I started making this when my daughter was rowing crew, and they would have carb loads, which meant that everybody was going to eat pasta, like volumes of it. And the coaches were like, "This is a myth. We don't need all these carbs in these kids the night before they row crew." And I started bringing the salad, and the kids ate it completely. It was gone every time I brought it. Wow. My daughter doesn't eat it anymore because she ate it for 4 years, but I still eat it.
But I mean, you're talking crew as in rowing?
Yeah,
as in
rowing crew.
Right there on the Potomac.
On the Potomac, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's when I started making the salad. And you can imagine, like, the big salad bowls that you can get. I have one of those. I still have it. And it's like I would make that much and it would be gone.
Wow.
Let me take it.
Yeah. According to Lucille Ball, do you know what George Washington said when he was crossing the Potomac?
I do not.
I've got to sit down. I'm going to be sick. Okay.
Ricky said it.
Oh, Ricky said it? I blew the joke. But I blew the joke. All right. I'm going to take some salad. And do you serve this with bread or
carbs?
Yes.
So I made it with a soup that I did the other night with I don't do dairy, so I did cashew cream with it, like a tomato soup. You can serve it with whatever.
Beautiful. It's a gorgeous salad. It really is. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Mmm. Mmm. This is good. Mmm. Mmm. And it's healthy and it's easy to make. Wow.
Kale convert. Kale convert.
Yeah, kale convert. We've done a couple of our friend Amy Summers. We did a kale salad with her last Christmas. We just did a kale soup, and now this kale salad. This is really good, and I appreciate that very much. Karen, thank you. I asked you at the beginning of the show, but will you come back?
Anytime.
All right, you got it. We'll come up with something else. Listen, I want you to go to Organic and Natural. I want the website. Your website.
Organic&Natural.org.
Okay. And Organic&Natural Health.org. Did I get that right?
Organic&Natural.org.
Organic and Natural. I'm really good at that. Listen, thank you. I'm going to see Karen in a couple weeks at the at Natural Products Expo West in Anaheim, California. I'll be there for a few days, and maybe we'll have some kale together. All right. Hold on. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Next week on our show, we're going to have a recorded show with Heidi Levy. And I'm not going to tell you what we made, but it was really good. And you'll enjoy it. Easy to make. Oh, yes, thank you. We want to thank the following. B&U, the honey people, because they make some really, really great honey products, not only for your skin, but for ingestibles. We want to thank, of course, Melissa's for all this fabulous produce. And, of course, Garcia de la Cruz and their olive oil. Thank you. It's been raining here all day, and the sun just came out on my face. I just can't help it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Karen, hold on. And thank you, Garcia de la Cruz. We really, really enjoy your olive oil. We'll be back next week with Heidi Levy here on Mark Allen's Culinary Adventures. See you then.